Hi, welcome to FootyWit Podcast, the transfer news episode. We're here again to talk about the latest transfer news and updates in the EPL. My name is Ahis Anthony, and my co-podcaster is with me today is Chimamaka. Chimamaka, say hello to your fans.
Hello, guys. It's good to be back again. Another wonderful time to talk football. Let's stay in.
Yeah, so time like this, it's so proud to be an Arsenal fan. Arsenal doing it back to back at Wembley. You know, Arteta has brought the new vibe to Arsenal. So I'm proud to be an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
It's so good to
I
be an
agree with
Arsenal
you.
fan. It's so good because we've been memed, we've been bullied, we've been battered, we've been turned into plaything on social media platforms. Now, where are the Man U fans? Come out! Where are you guys? Come out! Man U fans have terrorized us, they've memed us, they've done everything possible for them to do. But now they're all quiet. They can't do nothing because Arsenal is back, winning the FA Community Shield yesterday. It was a lovely performance by the guy. We had our review of the final yesterday with Okwe and the Liverpool fan, which was Abe. He had a bit of network issues, so he couldn't finish the review episode. But what's your take on yesterday's game? Just a few minutes. Let's touch it. Chimamaka,
Wow.
from a neutral point of view.
I loved what I saw. I'll be very frank with you. The goal that came in very early. Looking at that kind of game, the build up from behind was awesome, was massive. Before the good
Yeah.
finish by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I'm seeing us now doing some havoc next season. They'll be wrecking some teams next season, and like we
Mm-hmm.
discussed earlier, that realize that man, they wouldn't be the underdogs we're all looking at. They're going to be way more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that. They're no longer the underdogs because there's an understanding in that team. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's good one for them. I realized again that um, Liverpool being the team that are, I don't want to believe that they are relenting on their last season success and the
Yep.
previous season success. I don't want to believe they are relenting on that, but I realized that yes, they infused some young guys, but still Liverpool is Liverpool. You won't consider such
Mm-hmm.
that game. You won't consider such. But as it stands, I don't want to believe Liverpool are going to be relenting on that firepower they carried all through last season. Well, this is a wake up call for them. If they are actually going to retain the EPL title, then they have to fight hard. This is just the
Yeah.
first step. So it's a good
Yeah.
game. In all entirety, it was a very
Okay.
wonderful game.
Well, I'm still basking in the euphoria of being an Arsenal fan, winning, two trophies in 28 days. Arteta, big up, man. Big up Aubameyang. Sign the thing, give him whatever he needs. Give him whatever he needs. But there was fillers yesterday from Arteta's press conference after the game saying Aubameyang deal is done. They're just waiting for announcement. So we all Arsenal
Yeah.
fans, we're just waiting and we hope we get that done. So moving in straight to the transfer news. When the news broke out last week, Tuesday, when Messi handed over that transfer request via fax, it shook the whole world. It was the
Yeah.
news, it was what everybody was talking about. And all of a sudden, Messi got attracted to so many teams, even Arsenal too, were trying to rear their heads. And I'm like, hey, I'm with this one passing now. Come on, Arsenal, Messi, no way. Because one, you don't have Champions League football. Messi would want to play Champions League, and Arsenal currently don't have that Champions League football to offer Messi. Had it been we were in the Champions League, it could have been something we could try out, but definitely Arsenal is a no-no. So many teams, PSG, Juventus, Real Madrid also trying to come into the mix. Man City, Chelsea. It was Chelsea also muted. All of a sudden, now we know Messi has a 700 million euros clause for whoever wants to,
Get him.
sneak into this deal. So what's your take on this Messi deal? Where do you think the saga will get to? Do you see him being signed by any Premiership team, or do you see him
No,
going to another club outside the Premiership?
regarding Messi's issue, Messi had a contract extension or a contract
Mm.
clause that actually ended on the 10th of June. Now, we know that being said, COVID came in. COVID came in
Yeah.
play. If actually if actually Messi really wanted to leave and there was no COVID in play, I believe with this transfer request he tendered, he would have taken that act on the 10th of June. But now, let's take it back to Catalonia. What's happening actually in Barcelona? I realized that Messi has had issues with the board, starting from the present chairman, Bartomeu. He has had a problem with that man right from inception. Every manager they brought in, he has actually not been in agreement with their mood, their pattern of training, and the like. So I feel this is a decision that has to do with just Messi. And Messi being tired of the politics being played in Barcelona, he has tendered his transfer request. And I don't want to see it as yes, he tendered it because of the football. But yeah, the football thing actually plays its part in the whole thing. It plays its part. But I see that an internal problem with the Barcelona board. It has triggered a Messi who actually has a say in the football team to also play his part by tendering his transfer request. And him doing that, I read an article some few days ago about their president saying that if it's going to take him to resign and let it stay, he will do that. So I believe that is actually a call for Messi to actually rethink his transfer. Now, secondly, going into the transfer of the 700 million euros, it is just a price.
The clause.
And I can tell you, it's just a clause. And every player has their price. If his price is 700 million euros, there are clubs who are actually hungry for Messi. Messi has been called the magician in the past 10 years plus. And he still has that magical power in him. He still has that flair in him. He has the football in him. He has goals in him. You don't roll out a Messi at 33. Messi is 33 for crying out loud. And we know what he can do at 33. So if Barcelona are thinking that, the price is so high, nobody will come, I will tell you it's a blatant lie. Some people, those we know, the Arabians who are running PSG, those who are running Manchester City, that is peanuts for them and for Messi. So I believe even if they put it at £1 billion, not even euros, some guys are there to catch Messi out of Barcelona. So that's it. But as it stands, well, I don't know. I believe it's the politics that's going on in Barcelona that is causing Messi to tender such transfer requests. Well, it's him, he's the player. He has his own feelings. So I believe this is what he's looking at and considering to take the next step in his career. Well, I wish him good luck with whatever decision he makes.
Well, whatever decision he makes, but naysayers and also critics would also come out to say, I think Messi handing over this transfer request at this time, thinking the timing is wrong, Is it that when all the chips are down or when things are not working for you, it's that when you've decided to jump ship or leave Barcelona at this stage, picking back to the humiliating defeat by Bayern Munich in the Champions League semi-final, 8-2. But many would say, why can't Messi stay at this time when things are so bad? Looking at Barcelona as a whole, the average age of that team is 29, if I'm right, 29, 30. Most of them are in their late 30s. And there is no possibility of even having a backup or having how are they going to cope with life after Messi? I think Messi, for me, my simple analysis about this is Messi having to leave at this time. Yes, regardless of the whole politics happening behind the scene, because that in itself is what controls football. Really, football goes beyond what happens on the pitch. I think they should be able to sort things out, because which team? My question is, yes, we know Barcelona is trying to use a clause to scare other clubs away, and we know clubs that can put the money down. But do you think Messi can survive the EPL? Do you think Messi can survive the EPL? It's more competitive. With all due respect to the Spanish league, EPL is more competitive. We've seen players come into EPL and they can survive. But as a Chelsea fan, if you're to analyze, let's say, for instance, the deal Man City are trying to pull goes through, do you think Messi can help Man City to win that league again this new season?
Yes. Messi is Messi, irrespective of whichever league he comes in. Messi has been tagged, or probably his pedigree has shown that he's actually the best footballer on the planet. Even at 33, he's still performing such magic. Yeah, we have Cristiano Ronaldo there. In Messi's case, I believe he can come into the Premier League and make a difference. Now, making a difference now is relative. In the Spanish La Liga, we know how things are being done there. And in the Premier League, we don't have that kind of joy that the Spanish La Liga referees give to you. In the Premier League, some things will slide past. You can get kicked and get hit,
true.
and it's just a tackle. Well, with the kind of team that's trying to bring Messi in, with the likes of Manchester City, who already have a formidable squad, Messi is just going to be an added advantage first to the advertisement of the club, which is raking in money for the club, is a plus for the club. Now for the team, with Messi's pedigree, is a plus for the team. So I believe, don't forget, football is not an individual game; it's a team sport.
True.
So we know that Messi coming in is going to add his own bit of flair, add his own bit of experience. So I believe coming into a team like Manchester City would only make the team better. Yes, Manchester City is a very wonderful team, but with Messi's kind of person and his kind of football, will only make the team better. Let's not forget that Messi had his breakthrough season under Pep Guardiola, and we have Guardiola running things at Manchester City as the manager. So if we bring a Messi to come and help rekindle the what do you call it, the energy they lost last season on losing the EPL to Liverpool, then he's going to bring that. Messi is an exceptional player. You cannot rule that out. So him coming to the Premier League is going to actually increase the revenue in the Premier League, because he has his own personal individual power. So him doing that is going to add revenue to the club, bring in so many advertisement opportunities in EPL especially. Now we know in the La Liga, if we don't know this, we should know that Real Madrid and Barcelona are the highest who are the teams that bring highest advertisement revenue to Spanish La Liga compared to that of the EPL. In the EPL, you have several teams doing that, but because of the pull power at which the clubs have, the players have, it's what is bringing in such revenue. So in the money aspect, that will happen. It will be a favorable thing to the EPL having Messi, because don't forget, Messi is going to bring about his sponsors coming into the EPL. So it's good one for the EPL if they have the likes of Messi. So let's not forget that. Then I want to take you back to the Barcelona thing, what is going on and the likes. Actually, Barcelona have been in shambles in the past 4 years. They haven't gotten things right. It's just that this year or this past season, the whole thing came to limelight. So it's not like he hasn't seen it coming. He has seen it coming. He didn't just they didn't just expect it was going to be this bad. I don't know if you get me. They didn't think it was going to be this bad. Now it has become this bad, and Messi has decided to take his decision. So it's for everybody to actually come to terms with what is going on and actually expect the unexpected, because everybody saw Messi as a one team footballer, but man, his transfer request has said something entirely different. So we should actually expect either a move is going to happen or not. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, but we heard a few days ago that there were 3 players mooted in exchange that will serve as an exchange for the Messi deal. But Man City later debunked it. Players like Bernardo Silva, the striker Gabriel Jesus, and Garcia, the defender. For me, I have my opinion about this, because I know Messi joining any team, let's say for instance Man City, like we said, how would the balance of the team be? Because those in-house, will it affect the what Man City have already on ground? Because bringing a player of that caliber, who is going to be the leader? Is the captain still going to be the captain? Will you make Messi the captain, or will things change? Who is going to, different leaders in the team? Like you said, all fingers crossed, and let's see. We hope. But Messi has already made up his mind that he wants to leave. And we just see how this one plays out, and we'll see how the battle rumbles on between Bartomeu, the president of Barcelona, and also Messi. Whoever wields that power, whoever wins at the end, because Bartomeu on his own part would not want that record to be this to go into his record, that it was during when he was the president, Messi left the club, and he will do everything within his power to keep Messi. So it's going to be an interesting one. We'll just see how it unfolds and how it pans out. So coming back to, we're still in EPL. Chelsea are the one doing all the buying right now. Lampard is spending the cash. Lampard is doing everything possible to see how he would build the team to be competitive this coming season and also vie for winning the EPL. Timo Werner, Ziyech, the Senegalese, what's his name again? The guy from
Malang Sarr.
Yes, sir. Malam Sarr, and also Thiago Silva. You're the Chelsea fan, so fill us in with this. Give us an in-depth analysis of all the signing Chelsea had made. They played 1-1 with Brighton yesterday, though it was a friendly match. Timo Werner opened an account and scored for Chelsea. But let's just see. Give us an in-depth analysis of all the signing Lampard has made thus far, and the ones he's yet to make, and the one he'll still make.
All right. Now, with Chelsea Football Club, there have been signings. They have not been sign outs. It's a good thing.
Yeah, true. A bad thing. True.
You cannot bring in 7 players, or let's say you cannot bring in 4 or 5 players and not let some happen.
Are they 7 already?
No, not 7. But in total, transfers have gotten transfers have gotten to about 5, 6 players presently, and some are still coming in. No, why I'm saying so is this. Yes, we had to lose. We let Pedro. Okay, Pedro leave. Pedro left. William left. That's
Pedro left
for 2 people.
William left.
Now we realize that has been filled up by Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, which is good. Now we are bringing in more players. Bringing in more players and not letting some go out is actually a problem for the team, because we are going to have. Let's not forget we have nothing less than 23 players in the entire squad. But as it stands, we are having more. We're having way more than that. So we have to trim some players out. We have to send some out, either sale or loan, but at least cut the wage bill. We have to bring that down. Now, in respect to the transfers have been good with Chelsea. It has been awesome. That's been amazing with Chelsea. They've brought in a striker. He's a goal poacher. He has had 95 goals in 150-something appearances for RB Leipzig, which is a very good record for a 24-year-old striker.
Yeah, very impressive record. Yeah.
We know Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech was called the magician in Eredivisie. That is the Dutch league.
Yep.
He's been amazing. Yep. We know what he does with his left foot. So I believe it's a very wonderful advantage for Chelsea. Now, in other positions, with the likes of Thiago Silva coming in, Thiago Silva will be 36 in September. But we are not looking at the age. We are looking at the experience he brings into the team, which is an added advantage. Chelsea's downfall last season was the fact that they lacked a leader in the defense. And with Thiago Silva's pedigree in that, we see that, yes, it's going to be a good one. Now, aside Thiago Silva coming to the Premier League, the Premier League is a different ball game entirely. I don't know if it's going to fit. I don't know until he comes to show himself. With what is going on in the Premier League, nobody has respect for the other man. We just know we are coming to fight and it's a battle. It's not like the preferential treatment will be given to you in the Premier League. In Premier League we fight to the finish. Well, with Thiago Silva, I hope things are fine in the defense. Now with Chelsea defense, we have 5 defenders.
I have something to say about the Thiago Silva, but I'll allow you to just continue. Let me just spend that down. Thiago Silva.
With the Chelsea defense, we have Zuma, Rudiger, Christensen, Tomori. There already 4 defenders. We have brought in Thiago Silva, which is good. We also brought in Malang Sarr, but Malang Sarr is going to be coming in and he will go out immediately on loan. So that shows there's no room for him. For us to have 5 defenders, one would have to leave. At least one would have to leave to create space for Thiago Silva. And let's not also forget that Chelsea is looking in to bring in Declan Rice. There is still room for Declan Rice. We have not hit the 250 million target for transfer. Lampard loves Declan Rice because one is he is a player who can play in several positions. He can play as a centre back. He can play as a CDM. So we know what that can add to the Chelsea team. And again, Chelsea is looking to bring in a goalkeeper. It is on transfer plate now that we have Willy Caballero, who is about to be poached by Real Sociedad. And Caballero is 39. He was Manuel Pellegrini's player who he brought into Manchester City. So now Pellegrini wants him back in Sociedad. So it has opened a door or room for another goalkeeper who's going to come in. And we all know with Kepa Arrizabalaga that happened last season, he considered some goals that we expect a class keeper not to concede with the price tag on his head, 71.9 million for a goalkeeper. That's the highest amount spent on a goalkeeper. So there has to be competition in that position. Now we have Donnarumma, Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is that's AC Milan, who has 1 year on his deal left, who is priced at 50 million. And we have several guys in the French league. We have Mena, who is a French goalkeeper who plays in Lille, and we have another Rennes goalkeeper on the lookout. That we had to table a bid for him late yesterday. We tabled a bid earlier, and now we've made it 20 million for his services. Who we expect a deal has to be done anytime from now, either for Mena or for Donnarumma or the other guy. Sorry, I can't remember his name. I'll pick his name later. But as it stands, we have 3 goalkeepers who are in the offing for now. So we don't know who we're going to settle for, or several players we're going to settle for, because we are also looking at letting Arrizabalaga leave or actually to be sent out on loan. So there is room for all this. So the transfers are still continuing. We still know we haven't brought in Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz's deal has actually been sorted out, but I see it as Bayern Leverkusen trying to bring in a replacement for him before they let him go. The deal has been done. It has been agreed. 72 million upfront to spread the remaining 18 million in the space of 5 years. How it's going to be done has not been put on table yet, but as it stands presently, it's going to be sorted out. So these are the signings we are looking at, added to the ones we have on ground.
Okay, just to highlight Thiago Silva. We know when the announcement was made, it caused a bit of stir in the social media, especially Twitter. There was a meltdown. Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, Arsenal fans asking, because you guys, Chelsea, were hitting Arsenal for signing Willian. Willian is 32. We gave Willian 3 years. And now you're signing a 35-year-old in Thiago Silva. Yes, even if you gave him a 1-year deal. So, there was a bit of back and forth. But looking at Thiago Silva, do you think Thiago Silva has what it takes? Do you think it has what it takes to stamp that authority in the back line of Chelsea, having a starting shirt, starting in all games, because he's 35, his legs. Will his legs be able to carry him? The pressure EPL comes with, the pressure EPL brings in. As a defender, you have to be pacey, you have to be fast. Thiago Silva is old already. Why would Lampard go for such a defender where there are other options he could have gone for? I think there was a time Chelsea was bidding for Dunk. I don't know what happened, whatever happened to that deal. But why Thiago Silva? Because I have an issue with Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is old, for one. We saw him in the Champions League. We saw what happened. We saw what those Bayern Munich guys did to Thiago Silva. And again, his height really is a problem to me, because he's not that tall. With all due respect to Thiago Silva, he's not that kind of defender that has that height. Look at EPL. They have tall defenders ranging from 6 feet and above. You see Dunk, you see Van Dijk.
Yeah.
That's why Arsenal have to go for the tall guys. But I don't understand that deal. I don't understand Lampard. Maybe if you can help us out.
Okay, I'll actually help. Yes, I'll actually help out with that. Now, if you're looking at a player like Thiago Silva, you would understand that Thiago Silva is not a small boy in the game. Now, what Chelsea actually lacked was a vocal leader in the defense, in the heart of defense. There was nobody who was coordinating that defense. Now, with the pedigree that Thiago Silva carries, Thiago Silva has about 80 appearances in the Champions League. How many players have that? So you cannot just rule that out. He has the experience. Yes, he's 35. We know he's 35. We understand that with the EPL, there is so much challenge that you have to face with that age. Nobody will look at you. You'll be bullied, actually. But with his experience, I believe what he's bringing to the table is way beyond the deal he's been given. He's in there to actually also groom the ones we have there, so that if he's going to be spending 2 years, he's going to do that in a space of 2 years. And let's not forget, the best time to learn is when you learn from somebody who is actually a god in that game or a god in that position. With Thiago Silva, you cannot rule him out, as well as
like
being
an
one of the best defenders
experienced.
in the world in the
Yeah.
past 10 years. Even with his height, he commands. Yes, I'll take you back to the Bayern Munich game. With the Bayern who routed or who knocked out Barcelona 8-2, and could not do that with a PSG team that had Kimpembe and Thiago Silva as the central defenders. You should give credit to them. I don't know if you understand that. Yes, the goal came. It was 1-0. They had an outstanding game. Yes, I'm also of this opinion, being the fact I support an EPL team. I'm also of this opinion that yes, you should have giants in the defense. But I saw what this guy did. Yes, Thiago Silva was outstanding. This other guy, Marquinhos is not a 6-footer, but that guy was exceptional in that game. Marquinhos is short. He's not tall, but you can see what Marquinhos brings to the table because he has learned and he has played over the years with Thiago Silva. I want us to understand that. So you see, any team who brings in a Thiago Silva or brings in a Marquinhos knows what he's bringing in. It is way beyond the height this time. It is what you have to offer. And we can see what these guys have to offer. The Bayern game was a very good example to bring out Thiago Silva. Let's also understand Thiago Silva's play. I have watched him in the national team. I have watched him play AC Milan and have watched him play in PSG. Thiago Silva has a trait of not being the fast player. When it comes to pace, he doesn't have the pace, but he has a fast thinking. He's able to detect a pass before it is carried out. That is the advantage which he has. I have watched some clips whereby he knows he cannot meet up with that. Instead, what he does is he goes and he covers. And on several occasions, in fact, more than 5 occasions, Thiago Silva has literally brought the ball out of the net because of his fast thinking. So that is what we actually need in that team. Because there are times you see Zuma who lapses, he overdoes his run, and to retract is a problem. Thiago Silva won't do that. With his age, with his pace, he would not do that. Instead, he sits back and soaks in, absorbs that pressure. Then his leadership skills, or his trait as a leader, is to put the other defenders, young defenders, in place. So I feel Lampard bringing him in is not to come and make him play 38 matches. No.
Okay.
He's bringing him in to also come and groom the defense. I don't expect Thiago Silva to play 38 matches next season. That's the truth. With the pace of the Premier League, I don't expect to do that. But what presence he's going to have in that defense is way beyond the 1-year deal we are giving to him. Yes, it's a 1 year with an option of an extra 12 months, but it is going to be way beyond the 1 year we are expecting Thiago Silva to deliver. Well, in my own opinion, with the Premier League and the age 31, age 30 years and above kind of thing, I actually don't have a problem with that. If you look at the Chelsea we are talking about, we have a Chelsea legend who we call Gianfranco Zola. Zola came into Chelsea at age 29, and he stamped his name in the Premier League. I don't know if you understand.
29 to 35, it's quite different.
Marcel Desailly came in at age 31 and masterminded a Chelsea team that won the FA Cup and also beat a Real Madrid who were in their prime. These are guys that I don't want to rule anybody out. Thiago Silva is playing the highest level at age 35. You cannot rule him out. I'm giving you on that instance. Javier Zanetti of Inter Milan, Mourinho's Champions League winning squad. Zanetti was the captain.
It was instrumental. Yeah, it was instrumental.
I don't know if you understand. Zanetti retired at the age of 39. Zanetti played his best football starting from age 31. So you cannot rule out all these guys. These are generational players who are actually phasing out. You cannot rule them out. So they have
but I want to be critical of Lampard here because while he got the job last year, he was of the opinion that he would want to work with the youth team, the guys from the academy, and we saw Mason Mount was the only revelation that came out from the youth, the academy of Chelsea, and Lampard was of such concern. He was really, really concerned. And he stated this in several press conferences about how he wants to stick with the youth, stick with them, groom them, make them become better players. And all of a sudden, now we're seeing Lampard tilting away from all what he has said last season. And now we're seeing him bringing in players that he's not even looking into. He's not looking into the academy. He's not looking into the under-23. He's not looking into the youth structure of Chelsea. And secondly, where I'm critical of him is you had Lewis in your team, David Lewis, when you came in, when you were being signed as a manager, right? David Lewis was there. You shipped David Lewis out. David Lewis was 31, 32 at that time. Experience. If you're looking for experience, David Lewis will give you that experience. Now, you could have worked with David Lewis. You could have used David Lewis to balance or work with the defenders, the young defenders you have now. But instead, you shipped David Lewis out. And we'll see what Arteta is working. The magic Arteta is working with David Lewis at Arsenal. Now, thirdly, what I want to talk about is, I'm not trying to compare Lampard and Arteta, please don't get me wrong. But when Arteta came into Arsenal, we knew Arsenal was a bag of rubbish. But see what he has been able to churn out from those players. Example was Martinez. When Leno was injured, Martinez had to step in. And when Martinez stepped in, he did it with... He filled up that gap, and the absence of Leno was not really felt. So in this goalkeeper situation, why can't Lampard work something out with Kepa? Is this something Kepa is missing out? Is this something Kepa is not adding to his game? Why don't you want to be patient with him? Seriously, Kepa is an excellent goalkeeper. For Chelsea to have put such amount of money on him, he's no means fit. He's not an ordinary goalkeeper. Putting such an amount while you guys bought him from the Spanish league, you saw something in him. So why can't Lampard work with Kepa to bring out the best in him? Those are the three things I just want to be critical about Lampard, and you can just address this. So we just round it from this Chelsea's transfer news.
I'll do that briefly. Yep. First, I'm trying to get the first question. Now, the first question came with age, right? Regarding age. Secondly, you came with the instance of David Lewis, despite the fact he's an experienced player. Now, I want to talk about
the first one was he's not sticking with the youth. He said he was going to stick with the youth, work with the youth.
Now, I would like to address that. Now, you are going to stick with the youth doesn't mean there wouldn't be room for experience. You might have more of the youths, less of the experienced players. It also makes the team integrate very well. You cannot have all youths thinking youthfully and not have experience. You are going to fail. That's the truth. If you look at the backbone of Chelsea and the 2010s, you realize that there was a leader in every position of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And in the defense, we had John Terry. In fact, in defense, we had more than enough experience. In the goalkeeping role, we had Peter Cech, who was able to... Let's not forget that when Courtois came in, Peter Cech was there to see Courtois all through a season before he joined Arsenal. So that learning process was there. You must have these guys there who are going to groom you. In the defense, we are talking Zuma. We are talking many of these guys. But if you look at Chelsea's defense way back, they had experience. You have the John Terry. In the midfield, you had the Frank Lampard. Up front, you had the Didier Drogba. There's experience talking. Now, if you're going to achieve this, you cannot just bring in all through, except you are trying to build up a feeders team that you groom these players to a certain level and you sell them out. No. But Lampard is trying to use these players to gain and to win trophies. So I believe there's experience needed in that team. Let's not forget the case of I'm using that to get into the second question. Now, that being said, bringing that into the second question you asked regarding the views and the likes. Now, if you remember vividly, David Luiz was the first Chelsea player to request for 2 years deal for an extension, and he was granted. It's not like he wasn't granted. David Luiz was granted. But what happened?
Well, that was not when Lampard was there. Yeah, that was not when Lampard was there.
Lampard was there.
Oh, okay.
David Luiz. No, listen. I would like to remind you. David Luiz had contract extension after Maurizio Sarri was there. Sarri left, and we had to bring in Lampard. The team saw, okay, Luis is an experienced player. We all know that. He has good games he has had good and bad games, but the experience matters actually.
Vast years,
so,
vast experience.
So no, he was given 2 years contract extension. Let's not forget that. He was given the contract extension. But David Luiz's problem was the fact that Lampard told him, man, you would not have automatic starting shares. That is the problem. That's where the problem started. Which means I don't guarantee you a starting place. You have to come in and fight your way for it. There's no guarantee here. And you know the truth is, with Lampard, Pedro, they all have to fight their way through. Forget their experienced players. Let's not forget, you are looking at young players. You are also looking at your career as a manager. Managers are given 2-3 years contracts. And if you are given 2-3 years and you are expected to perform in first 3 years, how then are you going to do it? Let's not forget, either you perform, you don't perform, it all boils down to you as the manager. I don't know if you understand my own point. So bringing in...
looking at the striking position now, you brought in a Timo Werner. Yeah. Now you have Giroud. You have Tammy Abraham. You have the other Belgian.
Batshuayi.
You have the Belgian. What's his name?
Batshuayi.
So automatically, Tammy Abraham falls down. Batshuayi, automatically, Tammy Abraham falls into... Because Giroud was starting ahead of Tammy Abraham after the lockdown. So Timo Werner coming in, obviously, Tammy Abraham falls down the pecking order. And, I'm trying to marry here was, you kept mentioning youth. But all of a sudden, that word youth has gone out of the window.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Now, I will try to address that. Now, we knew before the lockdown, we saw Tammy Abraham. He didn't have a bad first season. Let's be frank with each other. Tammy Abraham had 18 goals in all competition without a penalty for a striker. And his first season in Chelsea. That is a good record. Let's not rule that out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand.
Unlike some player in Manchester United. Yeah.
we saw the fact that there was a time that Tammy Abraham was not getting... His form was dropping after his injury.
His form dipped.
Now,
his form dipped.
So you understand, his form dipped, and you realize that the second player you brought in, which actually is also a youth, which is Michy Batshuayi, had to step in, but he was not stepping in. This is where the experience came in. Now, Giroud came in. Let's not forget that Giroud is not a player that would guarantee you 30 goals in a season. He wouldn't guarantee you that, but his experience of the kind of play he does, or pattern of play he has, is what made the team succeed and make the top 4 this season. Now, that is where the experience counts. If we didn't have experience, I can guarantee you that Chelsea will not make the top 4. So that's the part of bringing in experience. In different positions, there's experience. Willian was actually outstanding last season. Why was he outstanding? Was because we had injuries on all sides. Carlo Hudson-Odoi was injured. Christian Pulisic was injured more than half of the whole season. But we saw the impact that Pulisic had in the little game that he played. If you have a consistent Pulisic on both sides of the wing, I can tell you that even William will not see a starting shirt. Because the Pulisic we're talking about benched Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro fell back. Pedro fell back.
If the youths are performing, I don't see a reason why the experience would come and play. But when the youth, since they are youth, they are less performing, and you see that those who you call the old boys are coming to perform. For God's sake, you leave them in the team. I don't know if you get me. You leave them in the team. You keep them in the team. But too much without experience, kill everything. What Arteta is doing in Arsenal now, he's infusing both experience and less experience, and it's working well for him. Actually, experience works in every team. So, in my opinion, I see it as Lampard trying to bring in a little bit of experience, bring in experience and still work with the youth. He's not changing everything. So you understand?
I'm going to agree with you on that, because there will have to be a certain number of clear outs in this Chelsea squad because of this number of guys coming in. Like you mentioned, a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers are still in the offing. since Caballero and also Kepa are looking out, going out. So there would definitely have to be some certain clear outs for the team to get balanced, so you have that number of squad. But we hope we're still looking out. The transfer window still extends to October, right? October 5,
Yeah.
if I'm
October.
not.
Yes.
Yeah, October. So it's still going to be an interesting one. But we now see how Lampard, balance, like they say, is key. Bringing in these new players, you still need to stick to the balance of the team to ensure the focus is there and you compete and contest in all this competition. So moving on straight to Liverpool. We saw Liverpool yesterday. They didn't have that depth. I think the only experienced players they had on the bench yesterday was Minamino, Keita. There was no Origi, there was no Shaqiri. And we know the news coming out from Liverpool now is Barcelona is looking at signing two of Liverpool's players, Sadio Mane and also Gini Wijnaldum. What do you see those deals are? Because Mane, remember last season, he was really angry about Liverpool not shutting down the interest from Real Madrid, because this is the kind of thing that interests him. He wants the big clubs to come after him. Now, Barcelona are looking at signing Mane should in case Messi goes off or leaves the club. Mane, Gini Wijnaldum, those are two key players in part of the Liverpool squad that won Liverpool the title last season. And Liverpool, they've not really done any business except for the left fullback they signed from Olympiacos as a backup for Robertson. Where do you see this? Is this trouble in paradise for Liverpool?
Well, you said it's trouble in paradise actually, because since Liverpool actually have been very, very, I would use the word careful with expenses with spending this period due to the COVID-19. I think they've been hit financially. That's why they cannot go all out to beef up the squad. Now, if Barcelona is coming in for their best players, it's a problem. As it stands, Liverpool needs to keep these players in order to still contend or contest for trophies next season. And contesting for trophies means on all fronts. If you have a Mane that's going to leave and a Gini Wijnaldum who's going to leave, then there's a problem. Well, according to transfers, we are also aware that they want to bring in Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich, which is looking like
Arsenal is also in the mix for Thiago Alcantara as well.
Arsenal is in the mix, but I think he favors a move to Liverpool, being the fact that he has a very good relationship with Jurgen Klopp. So I don't know what is going on. I heard something from the Bayern Munich chairman today saying that he's expecting a bid from Liverpool to close the deal on Thiago Alcantara. I read it. This is what I saw today. That is from Bild. And looking at that, it's looking like if they can afford to dole out 30 million as a cover for Gini Wijnaldum, then it's a good one. They can let go of Gini Wijnaldum, and letting Mane go without a replacement is going to be a problem. Mane,
yes, it is. It's really going to be.
Their three attacker is actually for last season was actually the most effective attacker they had. Despite the fact they have the Firmino, the Mohamed Salah, Mane was the most decent attacker they had all through last season. And if you're going to let that guy go without a replacement, without a decent replacement, it's going to be a problem for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool next season. So with this, I feel Barcelona is trying to build. We all know they are trying to build. They have 8 players. Their age is actually, their average age is about actually 29.5 years. That is clocking 30 years average age for footballers in Barcelona.
Average.
So it's not good for them. It's not good for them. So they are trying to bring in younger, energetic guys who are playing in their prime as it stands. They are looking for quick solutions. So if they see Mane as a quick solution, if it works for them, so be it. But I don't see Liverpool letting Mane go as it stands. If even eventually they let Mane go, he will not go on a cheap. We know what Barcelona paid for Coutinho, and I don't see Liverpool letting Mane go on a cheap. If Barcelona are actually going to do business with Barcelona, is going to come in at a very, very nice and hefty package. So with that, I don't know with Liverpool if they're letting their best players go.
With the deal of 50, with the deal of 50 million, you don't think they can pull money out of Liverpool with 50 million pounds?
With 50 million, with 50 million, with the Spanish La Liga team, sorry, one of the best Spanish La Liga teams of the decade. Well, I would actually infuse the hunger that every EPL team has for selling players. Like we saw with what Chelsea did last season with Hazard. They sold Hazard for over £100 million, not euros, which is actually still beneficial to the team as it stands. Clauses attached to the deal involved 15 million euros if they win the league. They did win the league, which means they are going to be paying more to Chelsea. So they will actually have to infuse all this kind of deal. Mane is not a player who is he's in the likes of you are going to rate Mane with the likes of what do you call this guy, Lewandowski and the likes. Yes, I'll put him in that rate because he was actually one of the best players in Europe last season.
Even it was prolific for Liverpool last season.
50 goals or the likes. He's not doing 50 goals, but you cannot rule out the money from Liverpool too. So they have to, in my opinion, if Liverpool is going to let Mane go, then he should not. They should be thinking on the high of 100 million, 80 to 100 million. If you really want to do this, 80 to 100, he's worth it.
I think I should have said over 50, not 50. Sorry, I should have said 50. But what you said, Mane, and I think Liverpool as well have not handled this Gini Wijnaldum's contract. He has 1 year left, and they've not even offered a new contract. So I think we are willing to let Gini just go. They're willing to let him go. Maybe they'll cash in on him before the transfer window
and bring in Alcantara, and also actually good.
Bring in Alcantara, yes. But in other areas as well, they lack a bit of backup. We hear they're trying to. I don't know how true it is. Brewster, they want to integrate Brewster into the first team, and Origi is looking at leaving the club as well. We don't know, but all this are still rumors until when it finally happens. So let's switch to Manchester United. Van de Beek, I think, is a deal done already with latest news coming out now. I think they said the deal has been agreed. And also, they're still on this Sancho deal. I don't know. I really don't know what Sancho really, what Ole really sees in Sancho. But it seems he really wants to get Sancho. And the Van de Beek, I don't really know this guy. I've not really seen that much of him. But do you have any info about Van de Beek?
Yes, I have info about. You're right, Van de Beek. Van de Beek. If you watched him 2 seasons back when Ajax played in the Champions League semi-finals, he was instrumental. But looking at he's a decent player. He's a very, very decent player. You cannot rule it out. Why you tag him as being a very decent player is because he's playing in the Eredivisie. When you bring him out there, I don't know if he's going to be doing what he's doing there in England. It's a different ballgame entirely. Now, looking at Manchester United, bringing in Van de Beek, I don't know what plans they have for Van de Beek coming into that team. Van de Beek plays in every position on the midfield. Now, Manchester United's depth lies in their midfield. So I'm looking at who exactly in that midfield are they going to replace? Except they are thinking of bringing him in as a squad player, as a squad member.
Is he left-footed?
No, he's right-footed.
Is he left-footed?
Okay. He's right-footed. Then bringing him as an integral part of the team, because now you look at the midfield presence of Pogba, who is about to sign a deal with Manchester, extend his contract with Manchester United. I don't know how concrete that is. We have Bruno Fernandes in that mix as well, and we know on several occasions Martial plays directly behind the striker, or most times he plays when he has a Rashford, he plays in front. I don't know if you understand. Now, if you look at this, you wouldn't also rule out the fact that they have an informed Nemanja Matic in that mix as well. We have guys who have been integrated and brought in as squad players. Let's not forget we have somebody who is also very decent, but does not mastermind
Though
effective
Matic,
football.
I think age as well is catching up with Matic. I think age is catching up with him as well.
Nemanja Matic. Age is only a number when it comes to a player of his kind. Why I'm saying so is this: Matic with age actually plays decent football. It's because of the problem we have with age in the Premier League. If you watch the Italian Serie A, you realize that even the young boys who are coming to limelight, the Tonellis, the Chiesas and the likes, these are young boys, but you cannot rule out these so-called old boys. These are guys who hold the pillars in that squad. Matic is way beyond a team player. Matic is an integral part of that team. Now, bringing in Van der Beek, and you have Paul Pogba, who when he's on his onion, you can rule him out. We have an ever-present Bruno Fernandes in the heart of the midfield, and you have an informed Nemanja Matic. Let's not forget we have Scott McTominay, who is also there. We have what's his name? Juan Mata, who is
Fred is there.
We have Fred, who is Fred. Let's not forget Fred was also very, very integral last season. So these are players who are
in the absence of Pogba.
In the absence of Pogba. So I'm trying to look at it now. If you are bringing a Van der Beek into the squad, he's going to bring in an addition to numbers, in my opinion. He's only going to bring in an addition to numbers because he is not as exceptional as people think he is, or as we all think he is. Yeah. Now, in the likes of Jadon Sancho is a prolific footballer. For Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be going all out to get Sancho, then it is worth it. But I don't see Sancho, that deal happening this transfer. It might happen in January. It might happen at summer of 2021.
Or next summer. Yeah.
Or next summer. I don't see it happening this current transfer. Manchester United is not ready to shell out 120 million pounds on Sancho because Dortmund is not requesting for any other contract. They said if you're going to get
Dortmund are indulgent.
They are coming in all out for 120 million pounds. Are they ready to do that? That's the question you ask. If the answer is yes, they should go all out. But if the answer is no, they should wait till whenever they have the money to spend.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I think we've touched several. Let's just look at the other transfer news. Tottenham they signed Doherty from Wolves, and they're looking at shipping out Ore, which shipping him out, and like Mourinho said last week, he said they're being smart in the transfer window. Doherty is a good buy. He's a good buy. He's a good addition.
Yeah, very good buy. Very good buy.
Yeah,
very good buy. I'll talk about Doherty. Yeah, the Doherty in Wolves was very integral. If you look at the Wolves setup, you realize that Doherty and Raul Jimenez had a good understanding. Is what made Wolves be all up in the top 10 of the table all through last season. Doherty, for them to have, and again, he played exceptional. He was exceptional. One of the best players last season. If Samia was here, he would have talked more on Doherty because I realized last season, I think she had him on her FPL squad. I think she had him there. Okay. On the whole thing, you realize that he was actually very decent. So he's a smart buy for Tottenham because we know that they are trying to pay up amount spent on the stadium. So if they are getting such kind of deals for, in quotes, decent players who are not out there for such prices, then it's a smart.
I think it was for 15 million pounds.
12 million pounds. 12 million pounds.
12 million pounds. 12 million. So I saw 15 million euros. Sorry. Yeah, so it is. It's good business.
It's good business. It's good business. So I believe with the Mourinho statement saying we are doing smart, for God's sake, that is smart business. I will take you back to the jogging club. when Klopp brought in Gini Wijnaldum into the Liverpool fold, I was like, what did this man think of Wijnaldum for? He brought that guy in from Newcastle. Let's not forget, and he was outstanding in Newcastle. Now we see what he is doing in Liverpool. So these are smart buys wherein Mourinho is talking about, where you are not spending outrageously. He has not spent up to 30 million in transfers, and he has brought in two decent players. He's ready to let Oria go. Oria has been he's been looked at. He's been looked at in the Serie A, and it seems similar looking at him, and I think Rent is also having a consideration. They have not made it all known out. He's still in the back room. So we see him also going out. Now, if Oria is going out, who replaces him? That's the question you should ask. I don't know who they have in that position for him.
I think that was why I bought Doherty. I think that was why I bought that. Doherty can play. He can play from that.
He can play from he can play from right back.
Yeah,
but Doherty
right back.
His best football when he plays on the wings, on the attack.
On the wings,
Yes, he's much more dangerous. Yes, as a wing back. Now, the question you ask is Mourinho ready to play with a wing back? Does he actually play with a wing back? That's Mourinho's question. The kind of football he plays, Mourinho likes to have his solid defense.
Two banks of four.
Yes, so you understand.
Yeah, 2 banks of 4. Yeah.
Of course. So we are seeing that. So with Doherty coming in, well, it's an advantage. He can play multiple positions. That's Mourinho for you. He will bring in a player who can fit in on several places and wouldn't cause a problem. So to me, I'll still agree with the Mourinho statement. It's smart business.
We can't wait. Premiership is in a few weeks' time. And on FootyWit podcast, our EPL review will be back every Sunday. We'll review all the EPL matches that have gone ahead during that same week. And also FootyWit, we have our fantasy FPL mini league of where we've put out there, and we'll have a few people that have joined the league. Hopefully there will be prizes to be won at the end of the season for whoever comes first in that league. But it's been nice doing this with Chimamaka. Myself and Chimamaka were only the guys on the Transfer News episode today. Dikbo couldn't join because it was stuck in traffic. Nigeria, Lagos, that's what we're used to. And we hope to have Okpe next week to come give us more news and Transfer News. And Chimamaka as well will be available next week. Like I said, the EPL will be resuming soon. So our EPL review will be back. Weekly review will be back. And we hope to have Tunde, Samiat, and Chibuzo back with us to do the review every week. So from us here, we say big up to all Arsenal fans out there. Congratulations once again. And also, FootyWit, we are on social media. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. And also, like our videos, share our videos, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. From me here, we say thank you for tuning in. Chimamaka, your parting words on today's episode.
Thanks, guys. It's nice doing this again. Till we meet next week.
Yeah. So everybody, have a good week ahead. Stay blessed.